Hello, this is Longbird showing you how to make holly sprigs. First we make leaves which can have 4 spines like this, or 5 or 6, and each leaf is nicely curved like a real one. We also make red berries. Each leaf takes 31 green bands, and we start by making the spines. Set up the loom like this, and for now we're working at the bottom end, using 3 green bands to make each spine. Start with one single band, and the second one wrap it around twice, and then finish with a cap band wrapped around the last pin 4 times. And then we want 3 more of these. Now we take the hook to go in through the cap band, grab the loops at the bottom and pull them up and through, stretch it out a wee bit and fold it back onto the pin. Same for the next one. If you need to release the tension, see the top looks a bit tight there, run the hook between the bands and the pin. You might find it easier this way round. This is how I prefer to work. Okay, that's 4 spines ready to use. And I go back up to the top of the loom to make the leaf itself. Get the rest of the green bands ready. I'm going to start by putting one single band just across the corner at the top. This is going to be the one that you tie the slip knot with at the end. Now 6 single bands straight down the centre row. And then 1 from the middle to the left, and 1 band down, and then we need to add on the first spine. So take the hook back to the bottom of the loom and carefully ease it off the pins. Now 1 more normal band, and then the next spine. Finally 2 single bands to finish off the left hand side. And then exactly the same down the right. 1 from the middle to the right, 1 band down, and then grab a spine. Normal band, and the final spine. Now we need a cap band on that middle point. Wrap this around 4 times. And then we want to put 3 bracing bands across the middle of the leaf. So you take a single band, wrap it around twice, stretch it right across left to right, and then take the top and stretch it into the middle to make a triangle. Now we're ready to start looming the leaf. I'm going to go through the cap band at the bottom and grab the uppermost of the 3 bands there, and that'll be the one going to the right because that's the last one we put on. And if you need to move the bracing band out of the way, just stick your finger through. If we were to do the rest of the leaf in the same way, you'd end up with a 4-spined leaf. But I want to show you how to now add an extra spine onto the left hand side to make it more like this, where you've got 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom, instead of just 2 on each side. So you can make a 4, 5 or 6 spined leaf by adding an extra one on here. So again, you want to go through the cap band and grab the top band beneath it, and that'll be the one going to the left. And then once you've done the first spine, that's where you want to put the next one, so stop for a sec and grab 2 more bands. Take the first band, wrap it around your hook 4 times, bunch it up there. Take the second band and wrap it around double, transfer that on, and then fold it back onto the hook. That's your 5th spine. So you go in and grab the band, but then before you fold it back onto the pin, just transfer the extra bands onto it. And there we go, that's 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom. Back to the bottom just to do the middle row. And you go through all the bands on the top pin to grab the slip knot band. And gently pull that tight. You can use the hook to loosen off the band so you can get it into the middle. And then remove your leaf from the loom. You sort of waggle it side to side, pull it gently but firmly until the whole thing pops off. And then we have one leaf with 5 spines. We've got 3 on one side, 2 on the other, and a good curve on the whole thing. You just tweak the spines so they're all pointing in the right directions. Right, next we're going to make a berry, for which you need 4 red bands and 1 green. If you have a monster tail loom, this is much easier, but if you don't, we can use the bottom 5 pins on a normal loom. Now I need to wrap the band back around every pin. This is like doing a figure of 8 at the start of a fishtail. If you twist the loom round so that you're working in the same direction on each pin as you go, it's much easier. Take the second band, stretch it around the same 5 pins, and then with the hook we lift off the bottom loop over the next one. This last pin's a bit tricky, but if you just use your finger to free up the band that you need to grab, press everything down. Now do that twice more with 2 more bands, lifting off the bottom loop each time. To remove the whole thing from the loom, take your hook up through the bottom, up through the bottom, up. Same direction on all 5 loops. Till you've got the whole thing on your hook. You can see it starting to take shape. Transfer the whole thing onto your single green band and gently tie that in a slip knot. Now don't pull this one really tight because it will snap. I've had dozens of these snap. Now give it a bit of a squeeze, squash it into a nice round shape, and there's your berry. So to make the decoration we need 3 leaves and 3 berries. You want the leaves with the loop, slip knot loop in the middle. Start by linking the berries together, which you do by poking the hook through 2 bands on the side at the bottom of 2 of the berries, and taking the loop of the 3rd berry and feeding them onto it. And just rearrange them so that the 3 green bands are all in the same direction. Now we take the 3 leaves, and again you poke the hook through from the bottom to the top of each leaf so they're all curving in the same direction. Doesn't really matter which bands you go through as long as there's at least 2 or 3 on each leaf. And now you feed those onto the 3 bands of the berries. And just gently pull it through. And just pull that a little bit tight and then pull it down the hook so you're not going to lose it. Now we find the 3 bands that were on the ends of the leaves and pull those together and pull them back through 3 bands on the hook just to lock it all together. Rearrange it all, make sure they're all lying nicely. Now, so that you don't lose these 3 bands, you can just loop them around one of the leaves. Might need to loop some of the berries through other random bands just to make it sit nicely. There we go. There's a couple of different things you can do with these. I've got a headband here. I'm just going to find some loose bands at the bottom to feed it onto. Just watching out for the spiky bit on the headband, of course. There we go, that's a nice little party accessory. Another use I thought is as a table decoration or a decoration for a napkin ring. So I've got one here which has a handy split in the back of it. If you don't have a split band, then you can find another way to attach it, I'm sure. But in this case we'll just find a couple of loose bands on the bottom, slip it on. Very festive. Another use for the leaves and berries is to link them together into a garland or bracelet like this. You can use C-clips or S-clips to hold it together. Okay, that's all for now. Hope you enjoy making holly. Thank you very much for watching.